Hey there, Class 4 graduates. You all have learned so much incredible science this past year, and this explainer is your ultimate study refresher. Today, we're going to trace a daily journey of protecting and powering the human body from the outside in.
Here is the roadmap for our explainer today. We'll start with protecting our bodies, move right into fueling up, examine that very first bite of food, and finally, explore the incredible digestive journey. All right, first up, Section 1, protecting our bodies with clothes and fibers. Let's dive into our very first line of defense against the dirt, the summer heat, and the winter snow. Think about the shirt you're wearing right now. It's actually the result of a pretty cool step-by-step journey. It all starts with Step 1, fibers. These are flexible, raw, hair-like structures. Those fibers are then spun into Step 2, yarns, which are basically long, continuous threads. And finally, in Step 3, those yarns are woven on looms or knitted together to create the comfortable fabrics we wear absolutely every day. Now, you might be wondering, where do these starting fibers actually come from? Well, natural fibers come from living things. Think of tough plant jute for making bags, or warm animal wool that traps our body heat in the winter. They're biodegradable and fantastic for the environment. On the flip side, we have artificial fibers. These are lab-created synthetic materials, like nylon and polyester. And honestly, they're incredibly easy to wash, they dry super quickly, and they hardly ever wrinkle. Moving right along to Section 2, fueling up with the components of food. Now that our outside is protected, let's transition to the inside and see exactly where we get our energy to work, play, and even sleep. Our food is made up of some serious heavy-lifting nutrients. Carbohydrates give us that quick energy we need, but surprisingly, fats actually provide even more energy than carbs. They are literally our richest energy source, though, we do have to eat them in moderation. Meanwhile, proteins act as the essential building blocks for repairing and growing your muscles. And we can't forget plenty of water for hydration, plus roughage, which is dietary fiber that keeps your whole digestive system moving smoothly. Your body also relies on this ultimate cheat sheet of protective vitamins and minerals. You only need tiny amounts of these, but wow, are they vital. For example, calcium from milk and dairy products, teamed up with vitamin D, which your body can actually make just from being out in the sunlight, work perfectly together to build strong bones and teeth. But wait, how do we keep all this amazing nutrient-rich food from spoiling before we can eat it? Well, humans have learned to basically trick bacteria using some brilliant preservation methods. Freezing slows bacteria down so they can't grow. Drying removes the moisture they desperately need to survive. Salting draws out moisture to act as a natural shield. And adding preservatives like vinegar or sugar creates an environment where bacteria just completely fail to ruin our food. Okay, on to Section 3, the first bite. Let's look at the very first physical tools that interact with our food before it goes down the hatch. Remember losing your first tooth? It's fascinating to compare our 20 temporary milk teeth with the permanent teeth that replace them. Your milk teeth actually start emerging when you're just 6 months old, but around age 6, they start falling out to make room for your adult teeth. And these new ones? They're much stronger, they have deeper roots anchored way down in your jaw, and they feature much thicker protection. 32. That is the exact number of permanent teeth you will have as an adult. And here's the catch. These 32 teeth are meant to last you for the rest of your entire life, which is exactly why you need to brush them twice a day with a soft bristled brush and maybe, avoid eating way too much sticky sugar. Ever noticed how your teeth aren't all the same shape from the front of your mouth to the back? It's because they have highly specialized jobs. Your front incisors act like little scissors for cutting into food. Your pointy canines are designed specifically for tearing. Then, moving to the back, your premolars begin crushing the food while your massive, flat molars do the heavy grinding to turn your bite into a soft, easy-to-swallow paste. And here is a mind-blowing fact. The enamel protecting the crown of your tooth, that's the white part you can see, is actually the hardest material in your entire body. It forms a super tough shield to protect the softer, living parts inside your tooth from decay and painful cavities. Absolutely incredible. And for our grand finale, Section 4, the digestive journey. We are venturing deep inside the body to see how the digestive system breaks down all that chewed up food into usable fuel. Let's track the timeline of a single bite of food. Minute 1, it's in the mouth, where chewing and saliva kick off the breakdown process. By minute 2, it's sliding down a tube called the esophagus. Then, for hours 1 through 4, it's churning away in the stomach. From hour 5 onwards, it slowly winds through the small intestine for absorption.
And finally, in the last few hours, it passes through the large intestine for water removal.
1 to 4. That is how many hours your food actually hangs out in the stomach's muscular bag. Inside this bag, your food is mixed and completely soaked in a super strong chemical called hydrochloric acid. The stomach walls vigorously churn everything together until that solid bite of food turns into a partly digested, soupy liquid that we call chyme.
Now, as the food leaves the stomach, it gets a massive assist from some VIP helpers stationed just outside the main digestive tube. The liver is a vital organ that makes a liquid called bile, designed specifically to tackle and digest fats. Right nearby is the pancreas, which produces special digestive juices that get sent directly into the small intestine to break down those complex carbs, fats, and proteins.
So, the most important takeaway here? The real magic actually finishes in the small intestine. And even though it's called small, it is a very long, tightly curled tube. This is where digestion is completed, and tiny blood vessels in the walls absorb all those broken down nutrients directly into your bloodstream. This leaves the wider, shorter, large intestine to just handle whatever leftover, unabsorbed waste is left and pull out any extra water.
So I'll leave you with this. Knowing how flawlessly your body's systems work together inside and out, from the fabric fibers protecting your skin, to the nutrients fueling your cells, to the exact 32 teeth preparing your food and the acid in your stomach digesting it, what new habits will you start to keep this amazing machine running smoothly? Think about it. Drink that water, eat your vitamins, and for sure, brush that enamel. See you next time.